To us, the main function of the mind is to dream. Now, mind you, to dream in the Toltec tradition simply is to perceive and to project. I perceive 360 degrees around me with my eyes, with my ears, with every single nerve ending that surrounds me. I'm able to perceive my environment. But at the same time, my mind is so powerful that I'm able to perceive things that are not there. I can perceive possibilities. I can let my imagination. That's how we write fiction. That's why we write. We can read the Adventures of Harry Potter, or the Lord of the Rings. The hobbits. We can find what hobbits are finding in all these wonderful battles with elves and giants and orcs and all kind of things. Our imagination is beautiful. Like, for example, right now I can look into your eyes and I know you're real because I shook your hand. And as I'm looking into your eyes and I see the light that comes from that light bouncing off your skin, bouncing off your hair, bouncing off your eyes, going straight to my retina, I'm seeing light bouncing off life. And I know you're real. But just as I'm looking into your eyes, I can also imagine my wife and kids playing at home in Reno, playing. Just as I'm looking into your eyes, my attention's both. And if I increase the energy of my imagination as I see and hear my wife in my imagination, I'm still looking into your eyes, but I can almost hear them. I can almost hear the sound of their voice. I can almost hear the sound of our dog. If I increase it even more, I can almost where I can touch them. And my reason is this compass that allows me to tell the difference between you, the truth, and my imagination, or my vision, or my hallucination, whatever you want to call it. My mind is that powerful, so I'm constantly dreaming. At the same time, I'm projecting. Right now, you're hearing me fill my diaphragm with air, throw it through my trachea, through the vocal cords of my throat, to the muscles of my mouth to make sounds in English, so that we can be understood. Si empiezo a hablar español, no me entenderías. If I start speaking Spanish, you may not understand me, but because I have the desire to be understood, I'm going to speak in a language that people share in order to share. So you can say that is the individual dream. I dream when I'm awake, and I dream when I'm asleep. What am I perceiving when I'm asleep? I have no idea. But I do know that I'm constantly perceiving. And my reason is that compass that allows me to tell the difference between the two. You can almost say it this way. If I'm the one that's talking inside my own mind, who's listening? I am. Well, if I'm the one who's listening, who's talking? I am. And now you can say the relationship between me and me is what we know as the individual dream, the relationship between me and me, the relationship between my mind and my heart. That's what we know as the individual dream. Life that I perceive from this being that is this human in this body and in this mind. And if the main function of my mind is to dream, then the main function of your mind is to dream as well. Just like every human being in the world, every mind perceives and projects. It's engaging the environment. It's imagining things, and from that imagination, if they like it, they'll say yes, and they'll create something. They'll create a work of art. They'll create a business. They'll create a bridge. They'll create a need in a community. And sometimes those needs is by watching and paying attention to the environment that surrounds you, to the community you're in. And if you see a need that the community needs, then your imagination says, well, how can I fulfill it? And if I fulfill it, how do I go about creating it? And that's how the imagination works. So you can say that's the individual dream. The dream of the planet, you can say, is as small as you and I. Because in our communication and in our interaction, after we shake hands, we still interact mind to mind. And like right now, we're using English to understand one another. That's because that allows us to understand, allows me to hear how you perceive the life, how I perceive my life, and from there we can listen to one another and we create something great. You can say we can create a friendship, we can create a partnership, whatever. Right now we're working together on this film, so we're working together to create this thing, all three of us. So you can say this relationship between the three people in this room are helping create something. So you can say that relationship is what we know as the dream of the planet, or you can say in this simple form, the dream of us, the dream that you and I, us three, share, because we're interacting with one another, we're understanding one another, and it's as big as 7.5 human beings living life, and it's as small as 3 people in a room talking to one another. Mm-hmm. So for us, that's the dream of the planet. You can call it civilization, you can call it culture. To differentiate the world. We can say that nature, the planet with its tectonic plates and its life forms and its tides, that's what we know as Earth. That's the living planet. The dream of the planet is the creation, it's a human creation. It's the vehicle by which us, humans, interact with one another. An example would be the internet. The internet is nothing really natural, but we created it with our imagination. We found, after several generations, we can almost say centuries, of trying to figure out ways of interacting with one another, communicating. And when we got tired of a letter that had to be taken across Pony Express or a train, we found a train. Then we found a telegram. Then we found, we got an airplane, and the first thing we started sending is mail. Like, we want our information to be faster. Little by little, we found Bell invents the telephone, and now we can talk to one another instantaneously. Then we found someone invented the internet, and now we can start sending emails to one another. In fact, we can even see each other. You could be in the Andes, or you can be in the tip of South Africa, or you can be in Oceania, and I can be here in Seattle, and we can still talk face to face using a screen. That need that we had to communicate, and found it faster and faster and faster and faster because, well, when we wrote something and we had to wait months before I get back to you, that was fast. Now we expect seconds, and it'll probably be to the point where it's all in real time. That's how we use our imagination to create something. And the language we use, be it Spanish, English, whatever other languages, symbols that we use, they're all meant to create this harmonious, or you can say form of interaction that allows us to create together. So I like saying the dream of us, and the dream of the planet simply is that. Basically, the creation and result that is human beings talking to each other mind to mind.